The contamination of food can arise from diverse sources and mechanisms. Several factors contribute to the risk of foodborne illness, including insufficient hand hygiene, cross-contamination, improper storage, and the introduction of animal waste into food. Food handlers are the most common source of contamination because they can spread dangerous microorganisms throughout the food supply. In this case, we want to highlight about the cross-contamination. So, what is cross-contamination? Okay, I will explain a little bit about the cross-contamination. Cross-contamination can be defined by the spread of pathogens or dangerous microbes from one material or surface to another. In the context of food safety, there are two primary modes of transfer that contribute to the contamination of food. The first is through direct contact, which occurs when contaminants from one food item directly touch another. Food can become contaminated when it comes into direct contact with surface or object that are carrying harmful microorganisms. For example, cutting boards, utensils, countertops, and hand can transfer bacteria, virus, or other pathogens to the food. Alright, the second way our food can pick up some unwanted gas is through indirect contact. As we know, when those tiny things floating around like bacteria or mold spores decide to land on our food, this tends to happen more in places that are not too clean or when we leave our food out in the open. It's like the invisible thing of our staff making itself conflict on our snack, especially if the place is in good food. Cross-contamination is a significant concern in food handling and preparation because it can lead to the spread of foodborne pathogens. In global scale, there are 600 million incidents of foodborne illness and 422,000 deaths are attributed to contaminated food. This figure emphasizes the critical need for increased awareness and concern regarding.
So we move into the types of food cross-contamination, and I'm gonna explain very briefly on. So the first one is food to food. Microbes can contaminate food directly from other food sources, posing a particular risk when raw items contact with cooked or ready-to-eat foods. An example of it is the inclusion of unwashed lettuce in a French salad, and this has the chance to affect other ingredients. This case has led to E. coli outbreak that happened in 2006. Next one is equipment to food, and this mostly happen to food handlers when they want to prepare on the food. And one common example is microbes from the knives that they've been using transferred to another meat when handling the food. Obviously can lead to cross-contamination. And the last one is people to food. The bacteria from the human body or maybe the clothes will be spread at different stages of the food preparation process. So regarding to this issue, both citizens and government policy should play a pivotal role in preventing cross-contamination. For the citizens, it all should start within themselves, and the process should start from the shopping, the groceries, storing the food, and then goes to cooking and transporting the food. As for the government policy, they need to hold an enforcement of stringent food regulations to advise people on the side effects of cross-contamination to human health. Collaboration with industry stakeholders is important too in preventing it. This collaborative approach encourages the adoption of advanced technologies and innovative solutions to enhance the food safety measure across the entire supply chain.
Contamination can happen during food preparation and handling. The food bacteria may transmit from one surface to the food surface and cause foodborne disease. Every year, 600 million people worldwide suffer from foodborne illness and 420,000 people die as a result. The guideline is already there. For United States, we have US Food Drug Administration (FDA). In Malaysia, we have guideline for safe food handling prepared by Department of Food Safety and Quality Malaysia. However, outbreaks related to foodborne disease continue to occur because of poor hygiene practice. Inadequate personal hygiene of food handlers in restaurants are one of the factors of cross-contamination of microbes. Ready-to-eat food (RTE) is a common food often related to cross-contamination. By passing the cooking process, makes some RTE food like salad and cold cuts more susceptible to bacterial contamination. Most food handlers use the same unclean hands to prepare and pack. Use of towels in the kitchen, which are not sanitized properly, also may contribute to cross-contamination. Slimy and slippery surface of kitchen towel indicates that biofilm is already formed. This can cross-contaminate to food surfaces, then lead to food contamination. A typical surface such as the surfaces of spices, menus, receipts and mobile gadgets have high microbial contamination. A study has proved that laminated menus contain higher microbial contamination as laminated menus last longer than paper menus. The longer menus can withstand, it makes the bacteria able to grow and expand more, creating more opportunities for microbes to cross-contaminate to the hand of workers and customers. However, cross-contamination is not limited to the faulty of the food handlers alone. The study suggests that people that age around 60 until 75 years are more prone to practice good safety than the young ones. The awareness of practice good hygiene by society is still lacking and needs improvement. It is important for young children to be educated with good hygiene practice and food safety.
Next is the improper storage practices. Food storage serves an important role in reducing cross-contamination during food preparation. However, a lot of people frequently overlook this fact. In 2013, 4 deaths occurred in Kedah due to consuming contaminated ayam masak merah. One of the contributing factors was the meal poor handling the night before after it was prepared, emphasizing how crucial good storage techniques are when managing food. To avoid the transmission of potentially hazardous bacteria, it is important to keep raw food products separate from ready-to-eat foods, due to the fact that raw food has the high possibility to spread a wide variety of dangerous microorganisms such as bacteria. In addition, lack of awareness is also another major contributing factor to cross-contamination during food handling. A study showed that most people have a little knowledge about food safety and cleanliness. Many food handlers show a lack of understanding of food handling, resulting in poor hygiene, inappropriate storage practices, and insufficient sanitization of food preparation surface. So, to address this lack of awareness, educational program and training activities must be implemented to improve people's understanding of the prevention of cross-contamination. It is essential to prioritize proper hygiene procedure to reduce the probability of cross-contamination incidents. In short, the concern of cross-contamination in the food industry is an important matter that calls for attention and action. It is important for all parties involved, such as food handlers, regulatory authorities, and consumers, to work together to tackle this issue and promote a more secure and healthier food handling environment.
Next is an initiative launching a comprehensive education campaign. Firstly, for preventing foodborne disease. This campaign reduces incident of disease caused by contamination food. Second, empowering individual and communities. This campaign helps them to adopt safe food handling practices. They also foster a culture of responsibility and accountability. Third, efficiency improvement of food handling and regulatory compliance. This campaign provides comprehensive training on best practices, hygiene and sanitation. They also provide compliance with existing food safety regulations. Mandated training for food handling. First, a preventive strategy for public health. Equip food handler with necessary knowledge and skill to minimize foodborne illnesses and contamination. It also protects consumers from several consequences like regulatory compliance and standardization. Ensure compliance, we establish regulation, create a standardized approach to food safety, foster a controlled food industry, reducing contamination, and creating a safer food supply chain. Third, benefits for consumer, reputation, and cost saving. Instill consumer confidence in food safety practices, creating a positive reputation and trust. It also results in cost saving for individuals and healthcare systems by preventing foodborne.
Let's continue for the mandate training for food handler. So we also need to create an interactive learning platform by using modern technology to create an interactive and interesting learning platform such as online modules, webinar and interactive quizzes that can enhance the learning experience, meeting diverse learning styles. Next, food handlers are most likely to implement proper food safety measure, which leads to reduction in the incidence of foodborne illness. This is because mandated training ensures that food establishments comply with the SST regulation, contributing to a standardized and controlled food industry. Establishments with a trained food handler are likely to enjoy a positive reputation, data with consumer and the consumer confidence. By ensuring that those involved in food preparation and services are trained in the food for the citizen initiative is encourage community-based for food safe practices. So the primary objective is an activity to cultivate collective sense of responsibility toward minimizing the cross-contamination and promoting safe food products. This planning model recognizes the importance of communities in protecting the health and safety of their residents. The objective of these seminars is offer citizen educational opportunity to acquire knowledge about the proper technique for the handling, storing and preserving the hygienic food. The implementation of community workshop has demonstrated its efficiency as a valuable approach. Information booth, demonstration and presentation that conducted by the professional foster an environment where the exchange of information is a vital part of the communal experience. An additional crucial element of its implementation is the establishment of collaboration between the local enterprises and the resident association. Communities that actively promote safe food habits create a ripple effect of awareness and responsibility in the nearby vicinity. And then, participating in classes and visiting the farmers market equips individuals with knowledge that empower them to advocate for food safety within their social circles. And then lastly, communities may effectively prevent the cross-contamination and ensure the safety of their product, food and food supply by implementing the educational workshop, interactive farmers market, and also collaborative project with the local
Mitigation strategies also include the government policy. It is the duty of the government to provide safe food to their citizens. Government controls food contamination through various measures, such as establishing strict food safety regulations and standards for manufacturers, producers, and food distributors. Food manufacturers should follow the strict guidelines set by JAKIM and KKM to ensure that all the food produced is safe for consumption. For small and medium enterprises, it is mandatory to apply for a MESTI certificate as it is free and provides security and safe food for consumers. Overall, strict food guidelines provide a comprehensive and detailed framework to food manufacturers and minimize the risk of contamination during food processing. The government also plays a crucial role in securing food safety by implementing regularly scheduled inspections in food factory and monitoring them from time to time. Without the correct cleaning procedures, harmful pathogens can spread quickly, which is why these inspections are needed to protect consumers from poor food handling and potential spread of foodborne illness. Additionally, the safety inspection should also be held during transporting, handling, and packaging process to identify and address any potential contamination risk. Should any of the guidelines be broken during inspection, the manufacturers should hold accountability and face legal consequences for non-compliance and serious offenses. This policy should be a lesson to every food producers, therefore lessen the risk of contaminated food in the industry.
Is how incentive empower safer food preparation by government. Firstly, government can reduce their tax and invest in essential infrastructure to food business owners. Providing a training program for cross-contamination prevention also important, which can encourage proactive measures. Government also can give a public recognition and awards to business owners that comply with hygiene and sanitation practices. Government also can implement labeling system where consumers can easily access about food business, hygiene and safety records. Government also can introduce collaborating with local communities and organizations to promote food safety, then foster a culture of safety within the food system. Education and awareness program also important in controlling cross-contamination risks, such as the professional needs in-depth training on proper food separation, temperature control, and hand hygiene. Government also should organize an interactive learning for community outreach and for multilingual resources so that it can broaden the reach and engagement in controlling cross-contamination risks. By prioritizing education awareness, in all ages, our community can become more responsible in food handling, creating a cycle of awareness, demands, and compliance that protect public health for generations.
Last but not least, we can conclude that both governments and citizens play a critical role in setting policies and regulatory frameworks, devising and executing food safety programs. To overcome the cross-contamination during food processing, there are some regulations and steps need to be taken and need to be aware by the people in food industry. World Health Organization (WHO) has provided some guidelines to support the worldwide prevention, identification, and response to the public health concerns connected with contaminated food. Some measures need to be taken to avoid cross-contamination, such as using different utensils, washing hands, and practice a proper storage. By doing these steps, we can avoid cross-contamination during food processing. That's all from us. Thank you.